As 2025 comes to a close, so does one of TV's most iconic series. That's right, after a decade, Netflix's Stranger Things is coming to an end. It's been 3 years since the sci-fi horror series' 4th season, and fans have come to wait a couple of years between each season. But Season 5 promises to be the final season, closing out a story that began with a missing kid in the Upside Down, a sinister lab, and a girl who could move the world with her mind.
12 minutes, 33 seconds.
It's a new record.
Fans have watched the main cast grow over the last decade. Millie Bobby Brown is one of the rare performers who has spent her formative years in the full intensity of public attention. Ever since her breakout role as Eleven in the series, she has quickly evolved from a young newcomer into a defining figure of modern pop culture. When asked about how she feels saying goodbye to the character that made her a global sensation, she said, "It's like the death of someone you love." Her character carries the series after all. "I was 10 when I started, so this is like a family to me. Not just the cast, not just the crew, but the entity of Stranger Things," she said of her castmates. The day she and her co-stars read the final scripts together in a table read, they huddled and cried for 5 minutes straight. It was the realization that this chapter of our lives, our childhoods, was coming to an end. Star Noah Schnapp, who plays Will, the infamous character that goes missing in Season 1 and has a mysterious connection to the Upside Down, said in an interview, "It was heart-wrenching. We didn't expect to cry as much as we did. It's like saying goodbye to family and childhood. It was really sad."
We really need some magic up here.
Shooting the final season took about a year, with some of the actors calling it a Lord of the Rings-style shoot in terms of its grand scope. And while production took a year, the series has taken 10 years overall, launching the careers of several child actors. For fans trying to keep up with the actors' ages, Brown was 11 when the series premiered and is now 20 and married. Schnapp was 11 and is now 20. Finn Wolfhard, who plays Mike Wheeler, was 12 and is now 21. Gaten Matarazzo, who plays Dustin Henderson, was 13 and is now 22. And Caleb McLaughlin, who plays Lucas Sinclair, was 14 and is now 23. We can't talk about Stranger Things without talking about Oscar nominee Winona Ryder,
Jonathan, is your receiver in any way connected to the flux capacitor?
who was already a massive star thanks to her classic roles in films like Beetlejuice and 1994's Little Women. The show is notable for having relaunched her career after she disappeared from major film roles. Maya Hawke, daughter of actors Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman, joined the cast in Season 3 as Robin, with the series launching her career as an actress. Similarly, Joe Keery, who plays Steve Harrington, had his first major role in the series. He was originally supposed to be killed off in Season 1, but the Duffer Brothers liked him so much they completely rewrote his character. When it came to the final season, the Duffer Brothers ensured to tie back all the characters' storylines to Season 1. That way, the cast and the fans would end the series on a satisfying note. I think that's going to be really satisfying to everyone. I'm a huge Season 1 lover anyway, so I think it's really nostalgic, and I think you get to see elements of Season 1 coming back into Season 5, says Brown.
And then what happens?
You mean after you totally demolish Vecna?
As mentioned before, the cast truly felt like one big family that would return to work every couple of years to shoot an entire season. On Ryder's last day on set, Schnapp was an emotional wreck. Clearly, playing mother and son for so long bonded the two actors. Schnapp says, "I was at Winona's last day. I was like, this is a work goodbye. We'll see each other soon." But it's not only for the cast of the series that the goodbyes will hurt. Schnapp assures fans that Season 5 has a lot of heartbreaking moments in store, with characters moving on and moving past the Upside Down. The journey was not only for the cast and crew, but the fan base as a whole.
I think about that night all the time. The night it came for you.
The actors were sent the final season's scripts before the table reads, and many of them read them in preparation for their final table read together. Schnapp even admitted that he read the final script in the shower. "I remember I had people texting me before the script came out like, 'Noah, watch out. You're going to like this season,'" the star recounts. He went immediately to phone his mother because of how excited he was for Will's final season arc. Of course, the final table read the following day was not any easier on any of the actors.
You want to find Henry so bad, don't you? So bad. Do it. Do it from the tub.
David Harbour, who plays Jim Hopper, said that the table read was just one big crying session. The end of this episode, when we were reading it, just us reading it. About halfway through, people started crying, he said. Then, in the last 20 minutes of the episode's table read, he mentions that it was just uncontrollable crying. Waves of different people. Harbour points to the show's longevity as one of the main reasons for the emotions and crying from all the stars. These kids, it was their childhood. They started the show when they were 11 and 12, and here we are reading the finale.
What am I talking about?
Yeah.
Really?
Star Charlie Heaton, who plays Jonathan Byers, the older brother to Schnapp's character, spilled the behind-the-scenes gossip that it was Wolfhard and Schnapp who were the first to get emotional during the final table reads. Apparently, the cast was only a third into the script when Schnapp began bawling his eyes out. Wolfhard mentions that it's going to be interesting if that ever comes out, because it'll be pretty embarrassing. Natalie Dyer, who plays Nancy Wheeler, says the final table was reverent since the entire team was anticipating this moment because selfishly, the actors were being given all the answers to the questions the Duffer Brothers began creating with Season 1. The Duffer Brothers admitted that the final episode was the longest they've ever spent on a script before. Sadie Sink, who plays Max Mayfield, admitted that she was very numb to the show ending at first, and when the table reads hit, she was uncontrollably crying the morning after. I think something about knowing what the end was and seeing end series on the script, it was so much.
But people say I'm too negative. I just think I'm honest.
Looking back on the farewell, Sink has shared how saying goodbye to Max in the series left her with giant puffy eyes and a heart full of gratitude. Sink revealed that after production had wrapped, there were some pretty embarrassing photos from the final shoot because she had cried so much. I had cried so much that my eyes were so puffy. They had never been like that before. A lot of the actors haven't seen the final footage of the season until the premiere in November, but many of them anticipate it'll be a big crying fest since it'll really be the final goodbye to their characters and childhoods. Besides the core group of actors that includes Brown, Wolfhard, Schnapp, Matarazzo, Sink, and McLaughlin, many of the actors and their on-screen siblings and friends had a tough time saying goodbye to each other, like Schnapp and Heaton, who play the on-screen Byer brothers, and Dyer and Kiri, who played a couple turned friends, and even Ryder and Harbour, whose characters got very close as the series progressed. As mentioned before, Schnapp had an especially difficult time saying goodbye to his on-screen mom, but hopefully they stay in touch in real life. On the final day of filming, many of the stars had their own goodbye tributes. Schnapp went around to every single person on the call sheet's last day and said goodbye. Sink was an emotional wreck. Ryder had heartfelt goodbyes with her 2 on-screen sons. The core group of actors all huddled together for 5 minutes and cried. Fans themselves will have a hard time saying goodbye to all the characters they love, but Sink does promise that for the decade-long fans, the characters are given the endings that they wanted and the show deserved. It truly is the end of a strange era. Thanks for joining us behind the scenes. We hope you enjoyed getting a closer look at how the cast of Stranger Things said goodbye to the hit TV series. If you like this kind of content, let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss what's coming next for Collider Behind the Scenes.